OK, let's get more on this story now from Associate Professor at the European University. George Michedlishvili joins me live on the line from Tbilisi. Welcome to you. So, there have been many credible claims of interference in Russian elections in the past, and already in this one, we just heard there the expulsion of Boris Nadezhdin. He was disqualified from running as a candidate, and he was gathering some credible support. But at the same time, you have what I believe to be a reputable pollster like the Levada Centre that consistently says that the numbers show that Vladimir Putin has the support to win an election anyway. So if the Kremlin could win this legitimately, according to the polls, why the need to interfere with elections?
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much for the invitation. Yes, the reason is because Putin wants landslide victory. He wants actually 80, 85. Well, his victory was very commanding, 77%. So any candidate who gathers more than 10, 15% is considered a potential danger. Actually, the candidate of the Communist Party, again, not very sympathetic party who actually dreams of restoration of the Soviet Union, in 2018, he garnered 11% of the votes and about 8 million people. So within the next couple of years, his political career was basically ruined. He was a target of this calumnious campaign, reputation denigration, and therefore he's like basically gone. So Putin takes no chances. Again, in 2018, in a very tricky way, in a very dishonest way, Alexei Navalny, now deceased opposition leader, was prevented from running election because he could get 15–20%. Well, significant opposition, it means a political figure, is like anathema for Putin. He considers him as a danger, and therefore tries to minimize the chances of those leaders. He wants, okay, very commanding lead. So when he's actually hovering at 75–80%, and no candidate gets more than 5, 6, 7%, they all should be in single digit. Basically, if there is a chance a candidate will garner a double-digit percentage of votes, so he's denied. Like it was the case with Nadezhdin, who stood with a very stringent anti-war position, unlike Davankov, more liberal-minded, younger leader, who might have been a more liberal, pro-democratic had it been a different Russia. But of course, he has to toe the line, and he is obviously a puppet candidate.
Now, when it comes to the war in Ukraine, I mean, it's remarkable because obviously people aren't even allowed to refer to it, journalists aren't allowed to refer to it as a war there, and people aren't allowed to criticise the government. They can have their assets seized, and there's clearly opposition to the conflict, and we've seen some protests already happening. And again, maybe a thing that a lot of people will find difficult to understand if we believe the polls, it seems like there is still quite a lot of the population that supports the war. What is the mentality behind that? What is the president tapping into that gets people to support this conflict?
Yeah, no, he wants to show, or demonstrate, or maybe deceive himself that there is a near unity in the country. So an anti-war candidate getting 15%, well, Russia has about 100 million legitimate voters. It means 15 million of Russian citizens voting for the strictly anti-war candidate is already a political danger for Putin. So he views everyone as every dissenter as a potential fifth column, so he simply fears for his political future in his way. So he continues his grip on power, and he takes no chances because, again, so history has shown that if there are troubles with the economy, if there are losses on the battlefield, so that people or candidates or political opponents with significant support base, again, much smaller, 10–15%, it could double, it could triple within several months. So he tries to keep everything at bay, so he takes no chances at all.
George, really insightful to speak to you. Appreciate your time. George Michedlishvili, Associate Professor at the European University.